The main 10 most costly watches in the world. Greeting to a luxury quiet, the spot where future extremely rich people come to get propelled. Hello and welcome to another a luxury quiet unique video. Each evident respectable man knows the significance of an extravagance. Observe when a year we investigate the most costly watches on the planet and rank them. We've been doing this throughout recent years. Furthermore, we truly needed to make a video on them for quite a while. The majority of the watches we will show are stand out and claimed by the most extravagant individuals on the planet and who might pass judgment. Them watches are a superficial point of interest, and claiming one valued so high will most certainly separate you from the other tycoons out there. So what precisely makes these watches so costly? It generally boils down to only 3 elements. 1. Costly parts, for example, uncommon precious stones, gold, platinum, meteor, rock, dinosaur bone, and so on, to how much time it took to finish and the detail level of what the watch can do, likewise known as complexities. And 3. How one of a kind or the amount of an elusive worth can be credited to the piece. Each watch we will highlight has a fantastic story behind that will make you can't help thinking about what it's prefer to claim a watch planned exclusively for the most prosperous people. Number 10. Louis Vuitton. A Meteor's watch cost $4.6 million. Consider the possibility that I told you there was a watch so uncommon that altogether to make it you needed to go into space and get some moon rock. Consider the possibility that I told you there were 4 of these watches that, aside from the wonderfully created design, each contains something so unique that the normal individual will never get to experience it in their lifetime. These 4 watches from the Meteor's assortment by Louis Monet. 1 contains moon rock, 1 more stone from Mars, and the other 2 intriguing shooting stars. Number 9. How impeded huge explosion cost $5 million in the event that the past pieces stuck out by the uncommonness of the parts. This one centers around just a single material, jewels. What's more, a ton of them, yet exactly the number of precious stones could one producer at any point put on a wristwatch? Hublet, answer that inquiry with the most that we can fit in there. They wound up with 1280 jewels that have at least 3 carats every. It took more than 1 entire year just to track down the precious stones and carry them to the base camp from all corners of the earth, yet the outcome was completely worth the effort. Each and every stone was cut by a well-famous goldsmith from New York with north of 40 years of experience to ensure each exposes a similar mark. Can't you're likely pondering who'd spent $5 million on a full precious stone watch. Beyoncé Knowles got it for her spouse Jay-Z as a birthday present for his 43rd commemoration. We've covered the story in our 15 things you had hardly any familiarity with Beyoncé video, which you can look at by tapping on the upper right corner right presently. Number 8. Vacheron Constantin 572 6-0. The most convoluted. Observe made cost $8 million this time. Vacheron Constantin chose to make one of the most convoluted watches in presence. The watch is genuinely new contrasted with the other ones on this list. An entanglement is the quantity of capabilities a watch can do. Furthermore, this one has 2,800 parts and 57 entanglements. It has a strong 18-karat white gold case and thickly stuffed parts inside. It took a group of 3 watchmakers over 8 years to plan and make the 2,800 part Reference 57260 from scratch. They were thinking about setting the cost somewhere close to 5 to 10 million, and a confidential purchaser got it for $8 million. Number 7. Patek Philippe Ref 1518. Wristwatch cost $11,100,000. What's more, $36,642 mid-November 2016 at the Philips in relationship with Bucks. Andrews. So Geneva watch closeout available to be purchased. A unimaginably intriguing Patek Philippe West watch was unloaded. It was sold for 11 million Swiss francs, that is around 11,136,642 US dollars. The justification for why it gotten such a high sum is somewhat odd. It's the way that it has impeccable steel packaging, an extremely intriguing thing, since practically all extravagance watches Patek made are with yellow or rose gold, while most other watches on this rundown get their esteem from the gems added to the watch, or on the other hand are really confounded. This is a section of an exceptionally restricted version 4-piece series. The firsts on the rear of the watch. Under the grain you can notice a main, which implies it's the initial one of the four. Number 6 Jacob & Co. Tycoon watch cost $18,268,000. This feels less like a watch and more like a crown. The Jacob & Co. Tycoon watch is surely one of the most rich watches on the planet. It's like they checked out at the $5 million Hublot we referenced previously and said better believe it, we can improve, enhanced with 260 carats worth of splendid emerald cut precious stones. It includes a high quality development containing 167 parts and 19 gems just to place things into viewpoint, assuming you had the means to purchase this specific watch. However, rather you put it in a respectable portfolio that pays 7% premium, you'd acquire $1.3 million consistently on the premium. The organization wasn't messing about when they said this is an extremely rich people observe. Number 5 Patek Philippe Henry Graves pocket watch cost $24 million. It used to be the most costly pocket watch the world has at any point seen. It was sold for $11 million back in 1999. Yet, assuming we adapt to expansion, the financial climate and its oddity factor, this piece could undoubtedly go for more than $15 million if it somehow happened to be exchanged. They needed to put that hypothesis to the test. Keep going. Year it went on special and it got a record-breaking $24 million made in 1933 for financier Henry Graves, and it took more than 5 years to complete. It is one of the most convoluted and complex pocket watches on the planet, with more than 20 capabilities made from 18-karat gold. The watch used to be the world's most costly pocket watch until late 2013. At the point when one piece deposed it's the one on the top third spot. Number 4 Chopard 201-karat Observe cost $25 million with 874 intriguing jewels. The chip hard 201-karat Observe used to be the world's generally costly watch and is as yet quite possibly of the greatest valued adornments watches available. Sold in the year 2004. This fantastic measure of $25 million, it made the front page of each and every extravagance distribution at the time, in opposition to the $5 million Hublot we've discussed before. The stone structure no kind of example or plan, which drives us to the accompanying question why it turns out this wasn't simply an exposure stunt for the organization. As they figured out how to sell it, we accept. The second this watch sold for that amazing sum, it opened up the entryway for another type of extravagance, watches with all that considered, we actually need to bow our heads to the work of art, innovative. What's more, investigate, see the detail level of work put into a definitive gems. It includes a tiny showcase. What's more, such a wide assortment of jewels that indeed, even at close review, it is very possible for you to miss some on the off chance that you click. On the upper right corner you can see a rundown of the multitude of interesting precious stones used to assemble it. Number 3, Drag Wet Grande Confusion. A Marie Antoinette cost $30 million. This is presently the most costly pocket watch on the planet. So what makes this watch so expensive? It was appointed by a supposed admirer of Marie Antoinette, the French sovereign. Work on the watch started in 1782 by Abraham Louis Breguet and was done in 1827 by his child 4 years after his demise. The outcome, an astounding piece of configuration, class and innovation, containing each capability that was conceivable at the time, encased in gold, showing the mind-boggling system running it. Unit utilized sapphire to bring down the contact. Inside the piece, Marie Antoinette did not get to see the watch since it was finished 34 years after her execution. However, we can be certain she would have been intrigued. The watch was taken in the last part of the 1900s. What's more, recovered exclusively in 2007, since each top watch authority needed it starting around 2017. The watch is esteemed no less than $30 million. As of now, the watch is gotten at the LA City Chairman Historical Center, so you can see it live if you're nearby. Number 2, Diagram Jewels. The interest cost $40 million. Recollect when we said that show terminated, opened the entryway for another sort of observe. Well, this is all there is to it. Adornments organizations have the advantage with regards to just adding as numerous important diamonds and stones to a watch as could really be expected, and diagram is the greatest name of all when it comes to jewels. The watch comprises of 152.96 carats of white jewels with a middle extravagant cut, impeccably uncommon stones. That is a 38.13 carat deep, perfect pair formed precious stone that separates into a ring, as indicated by Lawrence Chart, the pioneer and administrator of chart jewels. The interest is an extraordinary piece, painstakingly created so it tends to be worn various unique ways, adding a bit of sorcery to the gem. Number 1, Chart Fantasy. Cost $55 million. This is all there is to it. The Chart Fantasy is the most costly watch in the existence. Where do we indeed even start? It was divulged quite a while back at the base World Watch and Adornments Fair. Whenever Diagram first took part in it, they sure knew how to make an entrance. From the outset, the watch should be the most significant watch of all time made, and they did it. The unbelievable worth stems from 110 carats of truly intriguing and huge shaded precious stones set into an armband of platinum, just to make things simpler. When